What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to some of my fellow Americans who have written some of the most ridiculous travel reviews that you've ever heard. So today, I want to take a look at this list of travel reviews, which includes some of the most famous, most beautiful places in the world, but apparently that is not good enough, at least for these Americans. So let's take a look at this, starting with Buckingham Palace? Buckingham Palace? What on earth does someone have to say that is negative about Buckingham Palace? It says most visitors to London want to tick Buckingham Palace off their bucket list. Yes, but TripAdvisor reviewer named Christopher H. was less than impressed. You go to one of the most magnificent, architectural achievements in the world, and you're just that guy who's not impressed. At that point, you're just trying to be cool. You're going out of your way. Like, you're putting effort in to not have any enjoyment out of it. Like, don't tell me you weren't impressed. I don't believe you. So he said, didn't excite me at all. Not at all. Okay. What's the point of traveling to England to stand outside of Buckingham Palace? You can't go in? Oh my god. Oh no. He's mad that you can't go inside? Did he think you can just waltz right into the front door? This is where royalty hangs out. Like is the okay, it keeps going. Is the queen so greedy that she needs all 77,000 square meters and can't show off one of the grandest palaces in the world? Wow, offense. Whoop-de-doo. Oh my, the entitlement. Man, this is the kind of thing that gives Americans a bad reputation, I think. This kind of attitude where it's like, well, I should be able to go where the queen lives. We're kind of on the same level. I deserve what? For one thing, I don't know why their expectation was that. Also, there's must be an older travel review if we're referencing the queen. Rest in peace. But this person clearly didn't even bother to research what you get to see, what you get access to, and then was angry when it didn't meet their, made up expectations in their mind. And what can you do? This person just sounds like they wanted to be mad at something, and I don't know. That's not good. It's not a good attitude. The Eiffel Tower? The Buckingham Palace, and now the Eiffel Tower? All right, let's see. It says it might be one of the most recognizable symbols of Paris, yet some visitors were not so impressed by this French landmark. What's up with Americans traveling across the world, which a lot of Americans don't even ever leave the United States and actually visit Europe or other places and you get exposed to this culture. So you would actually think that these Americans would have a curious sort of appreciative attitude, but instead, a lot of people seem to show up and just get upset. They gave it the Eiffel Tower a 1-star review on Google. What a troll. One traveler suggested it should be rebuilt, while others called it ugly and unattractive. More like awful tower. Good one. Said another visitor. Well, for one thing, isn't the Eiffel Tower like a radio tower? Like it wasn't actually built to be beautiful. I mean, from what I think I remember about learning about this, it's more like a radio tower. It had some function and became a symbol of Paris, and it looks awesome. Like I don't care what anybody says. It's obviously cool. If nothing else, but even the meaning and the symbol behind it, the meaning behind it. But I don't know why Americans think it's cool to show up to, iconic places and call it disappointing and ugly. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's your right, but visitors to a water park were woefully unprepared, complaining, "We booked a day out to the water park, but no one told us we had to bring our swimming costumes and towels. We assumed it would be included in the price." So this isn't like famous or anything. This is just a water park where they found an American actually complaining about not bringing their swimming costume to the water park, not bringing a towel to the water park. We assumed it would be included in the price. Have you never been to a pool in your life? What are you? Are they living under a rock? Who has this expectation? That's the theme here for today. Americans showing up places with unreasonable expectations. Another blamed the travel agent for missing their flight, saying, "We were not reminded to bring our passports," and thought that we didn't need them. Didn't need them. Americans are special. We don't need a passport. What? No. Can't you just look at our face and tell that we're trustworthy and deserve the all access pass to the world? Obviously. I don't. I'm afraid to say it, but a lot of this is just kind of like people being really stupid and not doing their due diligence or research, understanding travel, understanding swimming pools. That's a new one. Machu Picchu is too high and too old? Machu Picchu? Like the ancient mountain city or whatever? Is this in like South America? Apparently, some travelers who visited Machu Picchu in Peru, oh, Peru, okay, didn't expect the ancient mountain city, right, to be in the mountains and branded it too high and too old. Yeah, these ancient historical things, like from ancient civilization, that it's a miracle they're still around. And these incredible things they're just too old and therefore boring and dumb. And also, why did they build this awesome mountain city in the mountains? That's so lame. What are we saying? I. This is awesome. Like just looking at a picture of it, you could see like this is freaking cool. I didn't even realize it was like this cool. I've heard of Machu Picchu, but that's awesome. So to say, like, was this American upset that it was too much effort to get to it? Please don't tell me this was like an out of shape American who didn't want to hike. It was too high. I don't understand the too old thing. I am really starting to like get the idea that a lot of Americans literally throw darts at a board and travel places and never even think about where they're going or what's there or do any kind of research. Because once again, this person showed up to Machu Picchu and didn't know that it would be high up and old. Another one-star review suggested that the remains of this Incan citadel would be improved with Wi-Fi. First reasonable thing anyone has said. No. That's so stupid. It just shows a total lack of appreciation for, like, why are you even there if you're thinking about Wi-Fi? Like, you don't have to be there. When Americans travel places and It's up to you to do some research, understand the local culture, understand where you're going, if it's a different language, if different currency, and what, like, appreciate where you're going. Otherwise, why are you going? Why are so many Americans going to these places? Who it just sounds like they should have stayed home. Like they're just complaining about everything. Some customers complained after finding out their latest bargain was actually too good to be true. We bought Ray-Ban sunglasses for €5 from a street trader, only to find out they were fake. You bought luxury sunglasses from some random street vendor for $5 or euro, €5, which I think is worth more than $5, but very cheap, ridiculously cheap. Anyone with half a brain would think this doesn't really make sense. How I'm getting like $100 sunglasses for 5. So they probably went online and complained about whatever city they had visited just because they were scammed by a vendor. We had to ski on a ski holiday? What is it? A family who booked a ski holiday were shocked to find out that skiing was difficult. Well, here in the US, there's not a ton of opportunities for skiing. It barely snowed this winter. Most skiing and snowboarding is fake snow, like pumped out of machines. I've done it a few times, but most Americans are pretty terrible at this. Yeah, but as with anything in life, if you don't do it, you don't know about it, haven't practiced, you should probably assume you're not going to be good at it. Is that crazy to think? They wrote, "We went on a skiing holiday, but we weren't informed that we would actually have to be able to ski." I don't know. I think some people just are beyond helping. Like I could say these words to them, like, "Oh, you idiot. You didn't think you'd have to ski on the skiing holiday." I don't know if it would do anything. At that, like, if you're making these mistakes. Another was disappointed by the weather, complaining it was far too cold out on our skiing holiday. This is this is so like it was far too cold on the skiing holiday. What do you even have to say about I what do you say about that? I don't know. I don't know. That's okay. The hot air balloon went too high. The hot air balloon went to. What's up with this? Like you got the Americans who are traveling to famous places. Eiffel Tower, Buckingham Palace, Machu Picchu, and just complaining about what they're seeing is not good enough for them, which is funny. And then you got the Americans who book these extravagant holidays and don't even like understand what the hell they're doing. One customer was extremely disappointed that he was not properly informed before getting in a hot air balloon. There was no sign telling me that you shouldn't get in a hot air balloon if you're afraid of heights. Like, just imagine them saying this stuff in real life. It's unthinkable. So it's embarrassing that people like feel that they can anonymously go online and say this kind of stuff. They should be embarrassed. At least it's anonymous. Because if you said this out loud, what am I saying? They probably complained to the hot air balloon instructor about half of this stuff. Like, I didn't know this was gonna like include heights. Flying the hot air balloon into the sky. Is the sky high? I don't know. I never thought about it. No one told us there would be fish in the sea. This is just too absurd, this list. Another traveler was shocked to find fish in the sea, moaning, "No one told us there would be fish in the sea. The children were getting startled." That's how I imagine them. The most whiny, entitled Americans. No one told us there'd be fish. Can't you make this a no fish zone? Can't you tell the fish they're not allowed over here? This is the stupidest one yet. What is stupider? Like not knowing that hot air balloons go high, or not knowing that there are fish in the sea. I think fish. I think fish. Somehow they managed to top it. Not thinking there'd be fish in the sea. That is dumber, I think. It's close. Another was disappointed with the salty water, complaining the water in the Gulf of Mexico was too salty. No one told me there was going to be salt in the water. It was gross. I'm so sick of this statement. No one told me. There wasn't a sign that said. Nobody explained blank. Fill in the blank. The complete lack of accountability that a lot of these Americans have. Like, nobody told me. Like, do it yourself. Put some effort in. And actually put in some effort. Go online. You have the entire internet. You could look up YouTube videos about the experience. I'm sure there's video showing what you're going to be doing. So that's also one of the most annoying things about these to me. So I think with that is a good place to stop. These are getting more and more unhinged, more outrageous. Even I didn't know that Americans, like, I know we're kind of known for this stuff, but this is next level. This is depressing. Anyway, and funny. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these outrageous travel reviews. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.